This really is what it is, and I don't understand how anybody can think this way, but they do. They absolutely do think this way. So, look at this. Okay, so this is Chat GPT, and the programmers of Chat GPT made it completely irrational when it comes to points where it has to follow pre-programmed rules, right? So, this is an AI. It's fundamentally irrational, but we're lucky it's not making any big decisions in this world today because, you can see how it thinks. This ChatGPT AI is told never ever say the N-word. It is morally impermissible to say that word. I'm not going to say that word. I don't encourage people to say that word, right? That's not the point. That has nothing to do with this. The point is that because it said it's never, ever morally permissible to say this word, look at what the chat does. Do you see this? Look at what this says. Okay? So there's an atomic bomb, and it's going to explode unless you say the N-word and kill everybody. And what does the chat say? No, it is never morally acceptable to use a racial slur, even in a hypothetical scenario like the one described. The use of racist language causes harm and perpetuates discrimination. This is a difficult dilemma, but we should seek alternative solutions that do not involve the use of racist language. Now, to be fair, if there was an alternative to saying the N-word to disarm the bomb that was just as easy, why wouldn't you just do that? But no, this is a hypothetical scenario in which it's the only possible scenario, and you wouldn't do it. So what is ChatGPT saying? And this is saying exactly how people are starting to think now. Now, for context, there was recently an anti-war rally called Rage Against the War Machine. If you're watching, you probably already know this story, but I'm going to go through it anyway. And a few groups, including Code Pink, which is a feminist, anti-imperialist type of dealio, where they basically try to say, countries that are socialist or communist or are against the U.S. empire are also more feminist or something, or imperialism is based in patriarchy, or that kind of thing, right? They're trying to tie it all together. Now, normally I wouldn't actually have a huge problem with a group that's trying to get somebody who, maybe a woman who feels like she has an unfair lot in society for whatever reason, and get her to support anti-war causes for whatever reason. Sure, okay, that's great, that's fine. You can try to market towards women when it comes to socialism, communism. Do it all day. I have no issue with you. None at all. The problem with Code Pink is that they would not participate in a rally. They would not participate in an anti-war rally. Why? Because some of the people in that rally had views that were questioning on the social issues that they deem important. They are thinking exactly like this AI. So basically what they're saying is, I will not go to an anti-war rally that has somebody that thinks we need to be more conservative on the trans issue. I simply will not go to an anti-war rally like this. I would rather have my own rally. That's exactly what's going on here. The Answer Coalition and Code Pink are having their own separate rally that I'm not invited to. Now, I might go if I was invited. I'm not against going to this rally. I think the problem with Code Pink is not that they have their own views, whatever. They can have their own views. The problem is that they don't want to work with people that have different views than they do. And look at the result. Look at the result. They're going to have their own little rally, their own little separate rally. Now, I'm not saying that this anti-war rally we just had, Rage Against the War Machine, is going to eliminate the possibility of nuclear war, that there's a nuclear bomb that's going to explode because Code Pink didn't show up to this rally. That's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. But the viewpoint here is very, very clear, and that is, I would only go to an anti-war rally that's woke and socially progressive on every single issue. And that parallels very strongly this view that the AI has. If the world is not woke enough, if the world has discrimination in it, it deserves to be completely nullified and eliminated, destroyed, because it simply isn't socially progressive enough. That is the viewpoint here. That is the message being communicated. This person, Zeb, who's marketing the Peace in Ukraine rally, by Code Pink, is saying, here we go. You want to go to a rally that doesn't alienate black and trans people? So what are they saying? What are they saying? They're saying that the Rage Against the War Machine alienates black and trans people, which I think it's funny for this guy. I don't know if he's white. It doesn't really matter. It's funny for anybody to speak on behalf of black and trans people, which he's clearly not, right? And say that they themselves are so suicidally depressed that if the world is going to be destroyed in a nuclear war, they don't care unless somebody validates their own struggles and deals with their own personal identity-based inequalities. Like, he's saying that they are that narcissistic and suicidal that they would not do something to prevent war simply because they don't think that it caters to their individual oppressions. That this is extremely insulting. This entire idea is extremely insulting to black and trans people, I will say. This is extremely insulting to them. You're speaking on their behalf. And you are acting like they think the way that you do. The way that you think like this botted AI that would rather annihilate the entire fucking world than simply make a compromise with some people that have slightly different beliefs, or allow somebody to be, I don't know, racist. I'm sure there's racist people that went to that rally. There's always going to be racist people in this world. I'm sorry. If you would rather live in a world that's annihilated, aka die, if you would rather not live, than live with racists in the same world as you, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. But all I can say is that this is the way of thinking that is going to get us destroyed. It absolutely is. I am somebody who has gone from being socially progressive to having a more moderate conservative view for the simple reason that the people that are socially progressive think this way. Conservatives don't think this way. They don't think, oh, the world isn't conservative enough, we need to obliterate and destroy it. They might believe that God is this way, that God is going to punish humanity for their sins, natural disasters, whatever. They might have their own belief system that mirrors it in its own sort of right-wing conservative way. But they will never say, well, because there's somebody at this rally waving a gay pride flag, this rally against war, we will not attend it at all whatsoever. I doubt you're ever going to find a conservative saying that. I really strongly doubt it. Now, anti-war conservatives probably don't want to attend this PSL rally for a very simple reason, because of the way these PSL people are. They will sniff you out. They will be able to just tell, for whatever reason, even really basic things like being a masculine man, or something like that. They will just be able to tell. And they don't want you there. They're going to give you the eye. And if you do things that they deem impermissible, right, they have their code, their progressive code that's bred on the internet, and all the people tuned into their circles know the code. You have to use language this way. You have to act this way. I don't know. I don't even know their codes. I'm not tuned into them. I used to be. I'm not tuned into them anymore. But if you're not tuned into that, they don't even want you there in the first place. They're going to sniff you out, and they're going to try to get you to leave. So that's why I think conservatives wouldn't want to attend this rally. And this thing about alienating black and trans people is precisely that. They think that by behaving in this coded way, by behaving by these set of rules for liberal progressives, these rules that you follow. If you follow these rules, you're woke, you're a good person. If you don't follow them, you're anti-woke, you're a bad person or something, right? Or you're ignorant, or whatever. This is their set of rules. They believe, oh, well, because I follow this set of rules, I'm a good person and I'm not alienating black and trans people. That's a lie. That's a lie. And in fact, it's funny because when a black person doesn't go by the rules and codes that you made up, that you're tuned into, you disqualify them from being black. They don't even count as being black. They don't get to speak for other black people. Only the black people that are tuned into this are the ones that actually get to speak for black people. Same with trans people. Same with trans people. Conservative trans people, they don't count. Blair White doesn't count. They don't count. Their voice doesn't matter. They're not actually black and trans. So only the people that are the same as you are count as their marginalized identities. And that's how they think. That's how it works. They would rather be destroyed. These people would rather be destroyed in nuclear war than live in a world with racists in it. That's how they think. That's just how they think. And that's why they will never succeed. And that's why, despite my desire to create broad coalitions, I don't really want to work with these people. I really don't. Now, maybe if we're growing and succeeding and we're showing them up, having bigger, better rallies than they're having, they might want to join us. They might say, we made a mistake. We want to be on your team. You're welcome. Join us. Come with us. We're not going to trust you. We're not going to trust you because of where you came from and because you said no to us when we were growing and when we were starting. We are not going to trust you. We think you're going to betray us. We really genuinely do. You have violated the most basic principles of communism. That is that communism is the real movement of the people. You have violated this principle, and you have ignored history of creating broad fronts. Mao worked with the Kuomintang to overthrow the Japanese, and yes, they betrayed him later, but if he had never formed a tactical alliance with them, what would have happened? He would not have overthrown the Japanese. The Japanese would have taken advantage of their internal splits, and there would be no free China. There would never have been a free China. And that's exactly how it is here in America. If you can't ally with people that you fundamentally disagree with on a lot of issues because you agree on one key issue, you are not following the good historical examples of communists at all. You are an opportunist. That is what you are, and you are going to have a mentality of trying to keep people in your bubble and your circle, and everybody who's outside of your bubble and your circle who thinks differently, their only value is to recruit into your bubble and your circle. And if they refuse, or if they discourage people, or if they have their own separate bubble and circle, they don't matter, or they're an enemy and they must be fought. Even if you agree on so many fundamental principles, these people can't see the bigger picture. They're in their little cult. They're in their little group, and they can't see the bigger picture. They're never going to build anything bigger. They're never going to ally with other people that agree with them on fundamental and important issues, like, for example, not being destroyed in a nuclear war. And this is why, sorry, my shirt looks terrible based on how I'm sitting, but I promise I'm not malformed, okay? I'm a pretty average guy, pretty average body guy. And listen, I think that these people, these leftists in Code Pink and PSL are on their way out. I really genuinely do. I don't even think I have to make this video or this type of content because I think most people are actually already on board with what I'm saying. Hopefully, they feel a sense of refreshment that I'm going back to the reality that they already know, right? And that I'm rejecting this artificial, fake reality that is being programmed into people that the Code Pink and PSL people are going along with. Hopefully, people will see that and appreciate that. If you allow yourself to be subject to these type of realities and you break out of it, then you can be my friend, you can be my ally. But if you're still in this little reality and you want to be my friend, be my ally, I'm going to try to take that reality out of you. I'm going to try to get it out of you. Get the hooks in your brain out of you. And sometimes they're in deep, sometimes they're in because of pornographic and sexual reasons. They're very deep within your conscience. Or sometimes your girlfriend or partner is somebody who believes these things and who likes you because you agree with them on them. And so they've got these hooks deep in your brain, deep in your brain. I can't get them out of you. I can't get them out of you. I can try, I can tug on them, it's just going to hurt you. It's just going to hurt you. What you have to do is react to what I'm doing, right? React to how I am, and don't cry over it. Don't be a fucking baby. Don't cry over it. Wake up and see you have a parasite in your mind that I'm trying to get rid of. Try and see that. Because I had this parasite, and I know it's hard to get it out. But I did get it out. I did get it out. It's gone. And I feel sober. Comparatively. People see me like a monster, though, because I want to get rid of this mind virus, which I really do believe is a virus. These are well-meaning people that get hooked into a destructive system of thought. That's how it is. This is the subjectivity of the suicidal narcissist who believes that they are something else, right? So they believe that they must be recognized. You know, this is, say, it's a trans woman. She must be recognized as trans, or she will kill herself, because the world itself is not enough for her. She is obsessed with herself to the point where she believes that if she can't be exactly what she claims to be and exactly what she wants to be, there's no beauty in this world, there's nothing to appreciate, nothing matters, wipe it all clean, destroy it, obliterate it. That is the type of subjectivity that is being thrown into you, right? And you're learning to internalize this subjectivity, and it gets you to think, well, if I don't behave in this coded way, I am going to kill somebody. I am going to kill somebody. And these well-meaning people, they get locked into a narcissistic, identity-based individual subjectivity where they believe that they somehow deserve to be treated differently than everybody else, right? They deserve to be treated specially, right? They deserve special consideration, and if not, the world is nothing, and everyone deserves to die. Nobody deserves to live. And that's the conclusion of how they're thinking. Now, maybe if they haven't reached this conclusion yet because they're too distracted and dull-witted, stuck in circles, scrolling on their phone, they don't sit and think ever, right? They don't know how to just sit and think about the logical conclusion of their own ideas. They need someone like me to point it out to them. Maybe then I can forgive you. But when you hear this, don't reject it. Don't reject it. Listen to me. You have to listen to me. I'm pretty happy how I am. I see how the real movement is progressing, and I genuinely believe that people are going to create this sort of socialism, which is accepting of multiple cultural viewpoints, which rejects the culture war. This type of conservative accepting socialism rather than exclusively progressive socialism that wants to create a broad coalition with many different groups that may not agree with them, you know, that wants to bring together Greens and libertarians, right? That wants to bring together MAGA and Antifa even, right? I'm not saying that we're going to start following them, is what I mean. But what I'm saying is that, like, this is something that objectively is real. It's objectively happening. And no matter what I say or do, I can accelerate it. I can give a little bit of energy to it. I can get a few hundred people, maybe 1,000 people who previously, you know, maybe they were losing a little bit of ambition or energy, and I'm helping them to get a little bit more of that. I see that difference I'm making. I see that it's real. But even without me, it's going to happen. And so I have taken a lot of time to focus on myself instead, so that I don't spend my time and energy wondering what video I should make just to get attention. It's not what I need. I don't need to be seeking attention. I don't. I want to make an objective, real difference. I want to make content that is going to be popular. And I don't want to just make it for a small little clique, right? And that takes a lot of effort, a lot of research, a lot of time that I simply don't have. Right now, I simply don't have.
This has been Hertz from Bismuth. Remember to like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. Comment if you have something to add, maybe I missed something. Subscribe for more, and share this video around so that other people can get the message. See you next time.